My camera caught Sabrina Kuldar standing right here on this corner hunting Mario Bilic, 77-year-old retired school teacher Mario Bilic.
What is driving the city of Hamilton to be this way?
Well, the complainant has very openly ranted and stated that they are friends with Ward 2 Councillor Cameron Croce, and they are best buddies with him, and I have a feeling there might be some political strings being pulled here.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Hamilton, Ontario. And folks, we're at the home of Dan Miles. You might recall we were here in September to chronicle Dan's story with the city of Hamilton. You see, Dan has 10 video surveillance cameras on his property, and the city of Hamilton bylaw has a problem with it. And with the exception of one complainant on this street, nobody else has a problem with it. The residents on this road take no issue with the cameras. In fact, Hamilton police love the cameras. They've been to Dan's residence something like 80 times to use video to help them solve crimes, including homicide, that have happened in this neighborhood. But no, the city of Hamilton has issue with this, and they told Dan at the time, either you take down those cameras or you're going to be fined. Dan, where do we stand right now here in the month of December?
Well, they sent me another order here last week saying that I had to take the cameras down and or adjust them. So I got on the ladder in a snowstorm, adjusted the camera so that the complainant's 6 feet of property is no longer in shot, and I sent them screenshots of where the cameras point, and they no longer point at the complainant's place. And I sent that to them, and they never responded.
This whole idea that the city is against surveillance cameras, presumably because would-be criminals have privacy rights, it's astounding for a couple of reasons. How many houses in the thousands in Hamilton have doorbell cams that face out to the street? How many motorists have dash cams? And since the Hamilton police is on side with you doing this, what is driving the city of Hamilton to be this way?
Well, the complainant has very openly ranted and stated that they are friends with Ward 2 Councillor Cameron Croce, and they are best buddies with him, and I have a feeling there might be some political strings being pulled here.
Isn't that amazing? You know what, I'm having deja vu right now because we chronicled the backyard hockey rink of Martin Ross of Markham, Ontario, that had to be torn down. And again, the politician taking donations from the neighbor who didn't like it. It's really not so much what you do, it's who you know.
Pretty much. And the city of Hamilton, when I told them there are Ring doorbell cameras on each and every house around me, everybody has one here.
Okay.
When I said that to them, they stated to me, and this is from their property standards individual, he said, we have protocols and instructions on the City of Hamilton website as to how to properly install your Ring doorbell camera to be in compliance with City of Hamilton bylaw. And that is absolute nonsense.
Even if that is the case, how is that being enforced?
It's not.
Well, Dan, I'm going to read you a statement. I sent several questions, I have a blanket statement. It's from Rob Lally, the director of the City of Hamilton's Building Division. I guess we'll take one point at a time. Quote, the City of Hamilton remains committed to the health, safety, and well-being of all residents, and it is in the interest of health, safety, and the protection of the public to regulate fortification and protective elements through the city's fortification bylaw. The City of Hamilton fortification bylaw allows for the use of cameras for reasonable fortification. Policy exemptions to the bylaw allow for the use of cameras which may capture adjacent public property, provided they do not capture adjacent private property, end quote. The Hamilton Police Service welcomes the use of your surveillance. It's actually helped them solve crimes. Isn't that a safety issue, a positive safety issue, thanks to your cameras?
My camera caught Sabrina Kuldar standing right here on this corner, hunting Mario Bilic, 77-year-old retired school teacher Mario Bilic, hunting him and then murdering him in the parking lot across the street.
And this is a matter of fact, I take it.
This is a matter of fact. The video is on there. They tap me on the shoulder, say, you got to come home. Immediately, I come home immediately. There's 30 investigators on my lawn, all asking me, help us catch a serial killer, please. I was in court for the vehicular homicide of Brent Reinhardt. Because I had a video of him being killed down here in a vehicular homicide.
Unbelievable. And the other point made in this statement, capturing adjacent public property but not private property. Dan, surely no one has an expectation of privacy when a camera is aimed even at a private residence from a public place. So I don't understand this this explanation here.
Only people with friends in city council, apparently.
Back to that. I'll continue. Quote, after issuing an order to the property/property owner in September, the property at 218 McNabb Street North remains in non-compliance with the city's fortification bylaw. As such, a second order was issued to the tenant, the camera equipment operator, specifically with respect to video surveillance equipment that is directed beyond its own property towards adjacent private property, end quote. I thought just less than a week ago, you did the modification and you informed the city. What have they told you? Are you or are you not in compliance?
I moved the cameras. I took the individual, i.e. the complainant's 6 feet of property out of shot. I sent them a screenshot. It was in the middle of a snowstorm when I moved the cameras too, and I never heard anything back from them from that point, and that was last Friday.
So is that yes or no?
I have absolutely no idea. Take your pick.
Well, surely you're owed an explanation, aren't you?
Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure.
And the last part of the statement, quote, the city continues to actively communicate with the operator of the surveillance equipment at 218 McNabb Street North and encourages self-compliance with the bylaw. If self-compliance is achieved, then the order would be closed. The tenant can achieve this either by removing the cameras or redirecting the cameras away from neighboring private property. Alternatively, a limited exemption under the bylaw may be sought by the operator of the cameras for any deviations to the bylaw for consideration by the director of the city building division, end quote. Well, Dan, it sounds like you have complied with what they asked for. You moved the camera away from the complainant. Nobody else is complaining. You've told me that off camera. So is this file closed?
I'm just like the Who's in Whoville. I'm waiting for that noise to come down the hill. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. They stopped talking to me. They're not in communication with me at all. They just stopped talking to me.
So if they determine that for whatever reason you're not in compliance, and I know you're not going to remove these cameras, what next? Does the city come with their own ladders, take them down, and then send you a bill?
I have no idea, because to begin with, they're enforcing a law that's completely illegal. So I don't understand how any of it goes from that point on.
Dan, what a lot of our viewers can understand is that if law enforcement, the law doesn't have a problem, why does bylaw go ahead with this? I guess we can come back to the personal connection here. Ultimately, I would have thought that would have ruled the day here.
These people seem to make up their own rules as they go, and they change quite fluidly. I don't know what to say.
It's incredible. And also, Dan, it should be noted, we're going to pay a visit to City Hall later. There were surveillance cameras everywhere at City Hall, no?
Absolutely. They look out into the street, across the street, by the street, and they're actually, as you've seen in Brantford, was it Brantford or Brampton? Brampton, they turned all the old speed cameras into surveillance cameras. Well, I don't think the city of Hamilton realizes that's what's coming here next.
That's right. As of mid-November, speed cameras are essentially illegal by the province in all municipalities. And sneaky Patrick Brown, the mayor of Brampton, he's not taking them down like other municipalities. he is allegedly getting them reconfigured to be surveillance cameras. So 180 surveillance cameras on the streets of Brampton. Hamilton City Hall using surveillance cameras. Sounds like one law for thee, one law for me, Dan.
Exactly. The government and the city seem to make up their own laws, but private citizens are unable to do the same thing.
I think you're owed an answer. I mean, it's not too much to ask. Are you okay with what I've done, or are you not, or do I have to do something else?
I think they're waiting to see if I'm moving them back and I'm lying to them. That's what I think they might be doing. I'm not sure. They want to be 100% sure they can close this and get away from it because they don't want to be in it anymore. I can tell you that.
Since we were in the neighborhood, I thought we'd drop by Hamilton City Hall. Holy mackerel, the first thing you notice are huge 360 surveillance cameras. I mean, this could be a set piece from a remake for the George Orwell novel 1984. We are under thorough surveillance, and those cameras, I'm sure, are reaching out to private property as well as public property. But again, I guess there's a different standard. And by the way, I should mention this. I don't have fond memories coming back to this city hall because years ago, during the COVID demonstrations, I actually came here to cover a COVID demonstration. And unbeknownst to me at the time, a City of Hamilton bylaw officer using a telephoto lens took my picture. And keep in mind, I had no skin in the game. I wasn't a demonstrator or a counter demonstrator. I was simply a journalist practicing journalism. And I was sent a social distancing ticket via email. I believe it was for $560 just for practicing journalism. But again, if the city of Hamilton isn't all that down on surveillance, man, why do they have their bylaw officers walking around with telephoto lenses, taking photographs of journalists presenting a narrative that they don't care for, and therefore giving them a ticket, which, by the way, cannot be appealed? Unbelievable. Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News tells you the other side of the story. After all, you're not going to get the real deal from the trained seals in the mainstream media, but the fact is we need your help. Unlike the mainstream media, we do not receive government funding, nor would we accept it in the event that hell froze over and it was offered. So please, here's where you come in. Can you go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation.